This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English. Episode number 168, baby. Oh yeah. In today's episode, I speak to Dan the Man. Yes, he is back from his holiday and we speak about Argentina. You will understand why we have chosen that topic when you listen to the episode, but I just want to apologise now for anything we get wrong in the episode. Okay, remember, I get these facts from a website, which you will be able to see a link to on the show notes to this episode, okay, along with the rock and roll vocabulary. So if you go to www.com rockandrollenglish/episode 168, you will find everything. And remember, if you want a podcast every day of the week except Sunday, that's the day of rest, rockandrollenglish.com/family. So have fun listening to two complete idiots talking about a topic they know nothing about. I will speak to you all again at the end. Happy listening. Dan the Man, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
Always fantastic, Dan. Always fantastic. It's been a while, hasn't it? So it's been a while. It's been a long time since we spoke. You've been on holiday, haven't you? How was that?
Yeah, I went to Denmark. It was very good.
Yeah.
First time there. I really liked it.
I had a message from a listener which I have to share, which was, why does a freelance human being have to go on holiday? Surely every day is a holiday.
That is true. Every day is a holiday. But, well, you called it a holiday, not me. I just called it another day in my life, I guess.
And that's a really good sort of name to give that. I'm going to Denmark just for another day in my life.
Yeah. I highly recommend it.
Well, it sounds great. Anyway, Dan the Man, I know it's been a while, as we just mentioned, but how do we usually start the show?
With a review.
Oh, yeah, baby. Do you think we have a review?
Yes, because I've seen it on Facebook, and there you go. No testicles are mentioned this time, though, are they?
No testicles this time. Testicles were mentioned last week. But yes, we do have a review. Not that you've seen it on Facebook, though. This was actually emailed to me. But it's so great, I have to share it. It says, "Hi Martin, I hope you're doing fantastic as always." Of course I am. This is Natalia. I think I might have that pronunciation right for once, or at least close to. A teacher of English from Argentina. First of all, thank you for taking the time to put out such an amazing show every week, even though I've been studying English since I was 7. Some nice present perfect continuous there. And I even have a degree in translation. Every day is a school day with you and your friends. I came across your podcasts in July on Spotify while looking for ways to motivate my students to spend more time with English every day, especially outside the classroom. Let me tell you, your podcast is hands down the most fun and original out there. Some nice rock and roll vocabulary there as well. Hands down. What does that mean, Dictionary Dan?
It means easily.
Yeah, like definitely, I would say, without doubt. It goes on to say, as my students are preparing to take some Cambridge exams, I recommend it to them, and now they're hooked. So some more nice vocabulary. Hooked, addicted. We sometimes talk about the show in class, actually, and I've already noticed some improvement, not only in their pronunciation and listening skills, but also in their fluency. Unbelievable. Their knowledge of British culture, their use of idiomatic expressions, and especially phrasal verbs, which, as you might know, are a nightmare for English learners. Yes, I do know. And this is the big bit, Dan. It says, so can you please give a big shout out to them? So that's what I'm going to do now. So this is a big shout out to Vicky, Maria, Naya, Fran, Abril, and Lola. And apparently it was Lola's birthday on the 9th of September. And she is a big fan. Well, it actually says a huge fan of Dan the Man. And a happy birthday from him would make her day. So, would you like to do the honours, Dan?
Of course. What's the name, sorry?
Fantastic. I love that, Dan. All the enthusiasm. Of course. Oh, what's her name again? Lola.
Happy birthday, Lola. So,
Yeah.
it was the 9th of September as well, wasn't it?
Very close to your birthday. Hey, Dan.
Very close. Kindred spirits.
Exactly. Kindred spirits, some nice vocabulary. They're like similar spirits, similar people. So the final bit, again, thank you, Martin, Charlie, Dan, Boom Boom, Hellraiser, Corporal Coma and Sabrina for making us laugh and learn at the same time. You guys rock. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for that, Natalia. And then it says, P.S., can you please make an episode about Argentina one day? So, Dan the man, my question to you, what is today's episode about?
I'm going to guess Argentina.
Oh, yeah, baby. I always need inspiration for episodes, so this is exactly what I needed. So thank you again, Natalia. So as usual, we have some facts that I've got from the internet about Argentina. I'm going to put the links to these facts on the website just to show that I'm not making them up. Okay, remember, making them up, inventing them.
Have you been accused of these?
No, well, I think maybe the one about Russia and Brazil, some people said, well, that's not true. But as I said, I just get it from the website and then we discuss what's on the website. Okay, so speak to the website. Don't shoot the messenger. So the first fact I've got here is that in 2001, Argentina had 5 presidents in 10 days.
That's still less than Britain, isn't it, at the moment?
That's what I thought. That was my immediate reaction. I thought, fuck. I thought the whole Brexit thing was bad. 5 presidents in 10 days. Jesus.
Yeah. Do you know who they are?
I didn't do that much research, Dan. I just got this very quickly from copy and paste the headings. Because when you go on the website, it has like that bit. That's the heading, and then it goes into detail. You know, I didn't read the details, but I read the main headings. That's what people do now, though, isn't it? They basically read the headline of an article, maybe on Facebook, and then just make their own opinion about the article. Probably don't even read the article.
I think that is exactly what people do. That's what you do, isn't it?
Oh, that is what I do. I might read it now because sometimes on Facebook it says like 1 minute read, and I think, okay, I'll give you 1 minute. 2 minutes, maybe. 3 minutes, forget it. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, so how you said 10 in 5 days or 5 in 10 days?
5 in 10. 5 in 10. So
yeah, still a lot.
I mean, 10 in 5, that would be 2 a day. I mean,
yeah, that's too many.
That's definitely too many. Speaking of politics, though, apparently political parties in Argentina have their own brands of beer.
Really?
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? I was thinking, you know, in the UK again now, there's obviously the Brexit party. You imagine going to the pub, having a drink with someone. What do you want? I'll have a Brexit beer, please.
God, you're definitely getting a few bar fights with that one.
Well, exactly. That's what I thought. So if you're in a pub and people are drinking certain beers, you're essentially showing your political, you know, alliance. And, you know, let's leave politics out of the pub. Okay, let's just get drunk and not talk about politics, just in the pub.
That's rule 1. But do they do that so they can get party funding? I presume that's the case.
I've already told you, Dan, I didn't read the details, okay? I just read the heading. That was the heading. Okay. The detail, I haven't got time for the details, okay? It's possible, I don't know. So the next one talks about Diego Maradona. I'm sure everyone knows who he is. He was a very, very, very famous footballer in the 80s, 90s. And apparently he has his own religion called the Church of Maradona.
Are you serious?
Yeah, apparently there's 120,000 people that, I don't know if there are special Maradona churches and they go and they pray to Maradona.
And they recognise him as God?
Well, maybe the Son of God. I'm not sure. He's certainly famous.
He doesn't know, does he? He hasn't set this up, has he? Because that's really egotistical.
Some nice rock and roll vocabulary there. So egotistical. Cool. It's a bit difficult for me. It's more than 2 syllables, like kind of self-obsessed. Yeah, I agree. I mean, can you imagine that? I think I'm just going to make my own church, put a statue of me there so people can pray to it. Maybe one day you'll have your own church, Dan the man.
It'd be a cult, not a church.
I think you've already got a cult, actually. The church is just next on the list. Maradona, though, speaking of God, is famous also for the hand of God when he scored a goal with his hand against England in 1986. I still haven't forgiven him for that, even though I wasn't even 2 at the time. I'm still pissed off, okay?
I mean, I don't care about that at all. But I think the problem with that thing is everyone forgets the first goal he scored in that game was one of the best goals ever.
Yeah, okay, but the second one was with his hand, okay, and that's not acceptable. So, Diego, if you're listening, you're a bastard. Okay,
you're talking to God there. So
well, actually, as soon as I said that, I thought, oh fuck! I hope anyone from the Church of Maradona isn't listening. They'll come and kill me, Jesus. So the next one, in Britain and in Italy, and obviously in Argentina, there's a toothpaste called Colgate. You know that, yeah, Dan?
Yes.
Okay, good. We've established that. Apparently, in Argentine Spanish, Colgate means go hang yourself. So, like, go and kill yourself, basically. Imagine that. Just, brushing your teeth before you go to bed and just hang yourself. Good, thanks.
Do they pronounce it like that, though? Because I'd be surprised. Colgate.
I mean, my pronunciation of Argentine Spanish, Dan, is obviously 0. Okay, so I've got no idea how they pronounce that. But still, even just seeing that word, and again, in the morning, first thing in the morning. Notice there I said first thing in the morning. I don't know why we say that, just like early in the morning. You brush your teeth, just start the day on a nice positive note. Hang yourself.
Hang yourself,
okay.
Yeah. Change brand.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. How much does Colgate actually sell in Argentina? You're in the supermarket, you've got lots of different choices of toothpaste. One says hang yourself. I'd go for a different one.
That'd be brilliant if that was on the shelves in Argentina.
Well, I think it is. Anyway, so another one here. Pope Francis. I'm sure they call him by something else in Argentina. In Italy, it's Francesco. But in England, we call him Pope Francis. What a pope as well. Hey, Dan.
He was a bouncer, wasn't he?
That is exactly what I've got on my list. So a bouncer is someone that works at the door of a nightclub, basically, and stops you from going in. And the Pope worked as a bouncer. Normally they're like big, scary men that are really horrible. I just can't imagine Pope Francis saying, "Oi, get out, mate. You've had enough."
Can you imagine someone out there has been beaten up by the Pope?
That is a good point, because that's exactly what bouncers do. There's a fight and they step in. So notice that they step in, they get involved and basically beat someone up. Very good point. Pope Francis, have you beaten someone up in a nightclub?
Please write in.
Good Lord. Quite a holy episode we've got here with the Pope, Maradona and everything. Hey, Dan.
Yeah. Got any more coming?
I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to see. So, the next one. In 1971, apparently, someone called Evita Peron, who seems like quite a big deal in Argentina, like she's pretty famous, was flown to Spain, where the ex-president lived with his new wife. So I imagine, obviously, this was his wife, this Evita Peron. He was living in Spain with his new wife, and the other person's body got flown to Spain, and they kept it in their dining room. They kept the corpse, so the corpse is a dead body, in their dining room.
So she has to see his ex-wife. Is that what you're saying?
His dead ex-wife as well. Jesus. I mean, we might be stepping on dangerous territory here. So standing on some dangerous territory. But that sounds weird. That sounds very strange. Just having dinner, nice little dead body to look at there.
Would you have my dead body in your apartment?
Oh yeah, that would be amazing. And then go and brush your teeth, hang yourself. Seems like a really good.
That's a good episode, isn't it?
Yeah, really sort of upbeat. Yeah, but apparently as well, this Evita Peron is the reason behind the song "Don't Cry For Me Argentina," which we can listen to now.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is, I never left you.
I always thought that song said, "Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I never loved you." But obviously now I've listened to it again, I've realised it says, "I never left you." Because, you know, if a whole nation is crying for you, and then you tell them, "Well, I never loved you anyway," it's not the best message in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's the second time I've heard this song. So, I mean, is this on your gym? Is this on your gym playlist?
Yeah, I always listen to that, really just pumping iron in the gym. So when you're pumping iron, you're lifting weights and just singing "Don't Cry For Me Argentina." Yeah, I always do that. But I thought that song was really famous.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I haven't listened to it. I don't listen to the lyrics or anything. You know.
Sure. Actually, this sort of brings me on to the next point nicely, because there's somewhere in Argentina called Villa Epiquen, something like that. And it has a population, the whole city, of one. One person lives there. And I immediately thought,
that's the dream.
This will be Dan the Man in a few years. He will be going there, population of one, freelance human being. It's just a dream for Dan.
Can you really even call it a town or a city? It's not a city, surely, but...
I don't know, Dan, but...
That's just someone homeless on the street.
Well... Yeah, I don't know the details of this town, but sounds like a good place. Okay, maybe you can go there and keep him company. I think you and him would be a great pair. Okay, you could have something really special with this guy.
Double the population. Yeah, we'll find out where it is. I've always wanted to go to Argentina, actually. So maybe there you go.
Me too. So when Mrs. Dan the Man leaves you, because that will happen.
Which she
soon.
will. Yeah,
definitely. Go and find matey. So when I say matey, this person in Villa Epiquen. So another thing about Argentina is that it's famous for the tango dance. It says the intense and sensuous Latin dance. Even just reading that, I thought, oh, wow. Have you ever tried tango, Dan? You seem like the type of person that likes a bit of tango.
Before I die, I would like to do it. In fact, actually, this is funny you mentioned this because... I
don't want to hear this. I don't know. Let's stop the podcast now. Go on.
Mrs. Dan the Man, as someone's offered her a job at this... asked her to do some yoga classes at this school here in Toulouse. And they have a dance school, and she signed us up for a dancing, basically. It's not tango, but I think it's worse. It's the most aggressive dance out there. Salsa.
Dan the Man doing salsa. Oh my God, that is just amazing. You have to send us some pictures, Dan. I mean, I'm laughing because I was about to say you're definitely not coordinated for dancing, but I'm not either. But just the thought of you looking really uncomfortable, I can imagine Mrs. Dan the Man getting really into it, like, oh yeah, and then you just thinking, somebody shoot me in the head now.
Well, this is the thing, because basically there's an introductory week where it's free. I mean, I'm presuming I'm going to get it free because she works there anyway.
If you have to pay, that makes it even better.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently, she said to the guy, she goes, "Oh yeah, so me and my boyfriend, we'll come to this, but he's not really a dancer." And then he went, "Oh, that's okay." And then she went, "He's English," and he went, "I understand."
Those bloody English. Just do the typical English thing. Just drink like 10 pints of beer before you have to go, and then you'll be fine, and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Is that the forbidden one? What's the forbidden dance?
What do you mean?
There's one everybody says is the forbidden dance. I remember hearing it a few times. Maybe the Lombardo, actually. So maybe after you finish with salsa, you can do the...
Sounds like you've been to a few dance classes.
Oh, I know my dancing, boy. I know my dancing. The next one here is the national drink, which is spelt mate, like mate in English, like friend, but it's got the accent on the end. So I think it's maybe mate, which is tea. It's the national drink in Argentina, and they have to drink it through a metal straw called a bombilla.
Yeah, I've got that here.
Yeah, but a metal straw.
Yeah. It's yeah. Because obviously I know a couple of people who are from sort of that region, and they fucking love it. Especially when you're out, in the park in the heat, and you bring a few beers, and they bring a flask of warm water for their tea.
So a flask, it's one of those sort of bottles, let's say, that especially for tea can keep it warm. And it's the metal straw thing that kind of makes me think, oh, that's not great. Although saying that, saving plastic, it's doing their bit for the environment.
Maybe you should be buying a few more metal straws, Martin.
I think I should. I like the way how you described the. You said I know a few people from that region, and they fucking love it.
Did I? I don't know.
Oh God, brilliant stuff. The last one here I have is it says Argentine soccer hero Lionel Messi is the world's best footballer.
He's
and
not.
I thought
he's not.
Exactly. I thought we're talking facts here. I mean, obviously some people say that, but you can't say that's a fact. Like nobody can argue with that. That is a fact, okay? So that also makes me think everything else on this list was a load of shit as well.
God, yeah, you should have started with that one and thought, I'll do a different list. I actually don't think he's the best in the world. I think Ronaldo's better. I know.
Well,
sorry for all the Argentine listeners now, but,
That's the beauty of football, Dan. It's a game of opinions. Anyway, it's been wonderful talking about Argentina with you. Hopefully one day we will go together. You can go and visit your friend in the city of the population of 1.
Doing salsa.
doing a bit of salsa or the tango. And I will just do my own thing. Okay?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. Sounds great. Anyway, I'm sure we will speak again very soon, Dan the Man.
Yep. Speak to you later.
Speak to you later. Bye-bye. Okay, so that was Dan the Man and me speaking about Argentina. Before we look at today's rock and roll vocabulary, I would like to do some rock and roll pronunciation. Because in the episode when I was talking about the forbidden dance, Dan the Man was a bit confused and he said this.
What do you mean?
So he's actually saying there, what do you mean? But notice the way he just says, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Now that really is rock and roll. Some people don't get excited by pronunciation. I do. Okay, so whatever floats your boat, which is some nice rock and roll vocabulary as well. Whatever you like, okay, that's fine. So looking at this rock and roll vocabulary, at the beginning I said to Dan, it's been a while. It's been a long time. A nice little phrase there to learn. Then in the review, we had some nice rock and roll vocabulary when it said, your podcast is hands down the best. Absolutely the best. No doubt about it. And also that some students are hooked, so they are addicted. Then we also had the term kindred spirits when Dan the Man was talking about the birthday, his being close to the person from the review. So a kindred spirit, when you have the same interests or attitudes, let's say, as another person. And we had the term egoistical, which is a difficult one for me, but that's when you're really self-obsessed, you love yourself, like maybe Diego Maradona. We had the term first thing in the morning, so the first thing you do in the morning, first thing in the morning. We had about Pope Francis, that he is a bouncer. So remember, bouncers are like security at nightclubs and pubs, generally not nice people. And we said that he had to step in a fight. So step in, like get involved, literally stand in the way, step in and get involved. Then we were talking about the corpse in the living room of the ex-Argentine president. So a corpse, not the nicest word, is a dead body. I also said we might be stepping on dangerous territory. So stepping on is a bit different to stepping in, because when you step on something, it's literally you're walking on it. And if it's dangerous territory, you might be in trouble. We had the term pumping iron when I said I listened to Don't Cry For Me Argentina whilst I am pumping iron, so lifting weights. We also had the term matey, and when we were talking about the guy that lives in the town on his own, I couldn't remember the name of the town or the person, so I said, matey. That's a very slang word, but it's useful if you don't know the name of someone. Not very nice, but between friends quite funny. Then we also had the word flask. So a flask is the thing that you need, like a bottle. If you want to have some tea, you want to keep it warm, what do you put it in? A flask, baby. Anyway, remember, all of this vocabulary is on the website, rockandrollenglish.com, episode 168. I will see you all again next week, people, but in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.